So diving into Vechain, you can see at the moment it's getting flat, boring. There's not much else to say than that, than these specific targets that we have in front of us right here on the 4-hourly time frame. Obviously, we've got the bearish cross contributing to the downtrend. The more you come up, the more you hit your head on it. If you can break this level of resistance, this yellow line, okay, which is 20 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, and get back above, then march on and take out this level of resistance, because this is the key level of resistance right now that Vechain's created for itself, because this could potentially form basically an ascending triangle, but also a bit of a double bottom here. If it, the way it comes down like it's a W bottom, you can see you've bounced here a little bit. Okay, so do keep an eye on that. If you do start to pick up, you may see it come back down and get caught like something like this, which is positive, because it means it'll start attacking this level of resistance. And if it does, then you've got this nice little pump to the upside up towards 25 cents. Okay, but failing that, if it does start to fall out of this bottom, do anticipate this previous swing high up here, okay, as a level of support where you may see it bounce. And then again, if it does fall out of that, then I wouldn't suspect it would actually get any lower than that particular level right there. And as you know, we are anticipating a bit of a dip on Bitcoin. It's struggling, isn't it? You can't get away from the fact that Bitcoin is struggling, and it's up and down, up and down. I think at one point it will just sort of pop out of this triangle that we've got going on, because you can see it's getting tighter. You see it's tight, and eventually, with a depleting volume as well, eventually it will make its mind up where it wants to go. It looks a little bit overextended on the downside, to be honest with you, so you might see a bit of a recovery here. Not financial advice, but you can see, just like when you get too far away from the EMAs and the gap starts to form on an uptrend like this. Look, so if I invert it like that, do you remember what I said to you? When the gaps get too far away, you usually see it roll over and fall below the EMA, come back just to tighten this bit up and get a bit more healthier. Okay, and the same thing applies when it's going down as well. Okay, it can get a little bit too overextended, i.e. there's too much selling pressure, so a level of support can come in to reverse it, just like when there's too much buying pressure, a level of selling pressure can come in to reverse it. Overextended EMAs basically. So yeah, just to clarify again, we've been targeting that on Vechain. When it gets a little bit too overextended, when it gets a little bit too overextended, it does tend to roll over. Okay, so effectively, you could see Bitcoin have a bit of recovery here, bounce up out of this horizontal triangle. It's basically a bit of a bear pennant, to be honest with you. Look, it's getting tighter and tighter. You see this? So potentially, the real, it's a continuation trend basically, and just something like this, you come down into it like this, and you can see that that's a target down here, and that's always been a target in Bitcoin. But obviously, take these extended EMAs into account, because when they start to get extended like that, just look at any chart, you see it reverses, okay, to catch up with itself. So do keep an eye. It's all about Bitcoin, okay, because the market's just sort of sat back watching Bitcoin. What's it doing? You've got the odd coin that's sort of exempt from it, which is actually confluence of the fact that we're still in a bull market. Think about it. You've got the likes of XMR, okay, which always performs well in a bull market, and is performing really well. It's in almost price discovery up here, so it's doing really, really well. Okay, so that's a good thing that we're seeing this still. And you've got the likes of Doge and stuff like that that's still sort of getting these mini pumps. So it's all good. All that's happening is, in my opinion, that certain things have got a bit too extended from the EMAs on the weekly time frame, especially. Look how far we are from the weekly on Vechain. We're so far away. So in my opinion, not financial advice, but we're going through sort of an ABC correction here, okay, where we're just going to sort of consolidate, come down, consolidate, come down, and potentially allow this yellow line to catch up and creep up, get the touch off it for that wave 5 up to that $1.50 mark. So that's what I am anticipating on Vechain, to be honest with you, because when these things go up like this, look, you got the A, B, C. Do you see that? Because what happens when it comes down? Obviously, it come down to the weekly 20, went up, made a high, failed to make a higher than that, come back down and found its base before marching on in the ABC correction. And you could get a very similar thing here for Vechain, where it comes down, starts to come up, makes a lower high, comes back down, and then in that time you'll get the yellow line creep up with it. So personally, I wouldn't expect any kind of breakout on Vechain soon. I'm always going to be transparent with you, but all of this that it's going through, this ABC correction, just coincides with the fact that we are in this Elliott wave, and we are going to have that monstrous 5th wave up towards the end of the bull market there before we get that ABC correction for Vechain. So I want to reassure you, it's all good. It's all good. It's a bit boring, it's a bit flat, I know it is, and that's how it goes when it consolidates and comes back down to retest base. Just have strong hands basically. So yeah, that's pretty much Vechain. But in and out of all this chop, there are possibilities in trades, just like we always stipulate and show you in the channel, there are little possibilities, because right here obviously you've got one. If you do start to lose this level of support, again, come on and draw your levels of support and stuff, because this will actually change. Obviously I could drop that in now and say if it loses 17 cents, but look, as time goes on, it creeps up, creeps up, it creeps up. So if it does lose this at the moment, then do anticipate that you are going to come down and test the previous swing high. Losing that, test the previous swing low, and it really is that simple. Okay, and that's where you would expect to see those levels of support before consolidation, taking the next leg up, because this actually could be the A wave. Okay, so think about this. This could actually be what we're experiencing right now, is this A wave correction, which was this wave down here. Okay, so you've got this A wave, because when it goes up in the third wave there, it has an ABC correction. So A, and then B is what you're experiencing now at the pickup. It's come up, it's hit its resistance, coming back down, forming a double top, and you're going to get this B wave, which potentially comes up to our target just there, and then you're going to get a deeper C wave, potentially down to this swing low here, swing high and swing low of this swing high. Do you see that? And that would be potentially, at that time when that does happen, that could be that weekly 20 EMA allowed to creep up and touch it and kiss base with it before continuation. So that is basically what I am targeting for Vechain, to be honest with you. But right now, you know, in and out of all this chop and in this consolidation range, there are opportunities to long and short Vechain, you know, and acquire more. So do keep an eye on that, because if you do start to come up and break that level of resistance, do target that as a particular top, where, you know, not financial advice, but you could see it sort of get rejected there and fall back down, and in all sense of it, still making lower highs. Do you see that? So it's rolling over still, effectively looking for that deeper correction of that C wave. So that's basically Vechain, just a little update for you today. Do take care, stay strong, stay safe, and most importantly, stay tuned and have a good day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye bye.